Hello everybody and welcome back to Witty Wellness. I'm Phoebe.
And I'm Heidi.
And we are talking all things mental health.
Yes, we are.
We certainly are.
I've got a story from this morning. You know how we went to Starbucks?
Yeah.
And I asked them for my ice blended Americano.
Mm-hmm.
Just had the day frappuccino but without the milk.
Yeah.
And they said to me, so we went and I got it.
Yeah.
I went yesterday. They said to me on the drive-through, sorry, we can't do that for you. Bear in mind, I was absolutely starving, just been to the gym.
Hungry,
decaffeinated. Had no caffeine in my system. Next day, said sorry, we can't do that. We just have different standards at this store. How was your day yesterday? I literally saw you the other day.
My day yesterday was absolutely divine.
Was it?
Yeah. But oh wait, what was the day yesterday? Tuesday. Yeah, it was good. I mean, work was stressing me out. Like I was working till 7:30, and I was just like, this is not my vibe.
And
yeah,
we're
that's the
filming
thing,
the other
though.
day. We get at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know why though, because I'm not meant to get a period. But
You
I
are
think
on the coil?
No, not
Really?
the one I'm on.
Oh, you're
I think
one.
I was just really hormonal, and then it all just got too much. But we live and we learn, because I didn't have a panic attack. I just dealt with it.
Well done. Proud of you for that.
I just had to have a mummy cuddle.
Oh, and find a holiday.
And then I said to her, sorry for stressing you out, but if you can't sleep tonight because you're worried about me, can you just find me and Harry a holiday?
Yeah.
And she did exactly that. 2 a.m. Got a text of a holiday. She said, here you go. Thanks for making me worry.
Sorted.
Absolutely no problem, Claire.
Perfect.
No problem at all.
And I can enjoy the sun.
Yeah, but I feel better today.
Good.
I think I was so tired because we had such a busy day on the Monday.
Did, yeah.
The Tuesday I was at work really late. I think I was just overwhelmed with everything. And also when we're talking about feelings, I'm not being funny, it's so draining.
Yeah, it can
like
be.
even though it was about you, it's still like a bit.
You feel it as well.
Yeah, because you feel sad for the person.
Yeah.
For a fresh day.
Also, can we just say that my hair's a different colour?
Yeah, we're matching. She copied me.
Yeah, we're now officially sisters. Look like sisters.
Yeah, it looks so much better. And do you know what?
It looks healthier.
I did say to you, stay blonde. It looks so much better.
You
it
did.
looks so much healthier.
Yeah.
And you really suit it. But I think you could be like any colour and
Not
you'd
black.
suit it. I mean, I was black.
Yeah, you look great in black.
Up until recently.
Yeah, you look great with black hair.
Yeah, a bit gothic, but I kind of liked it.
You kind of are goth.
No, I'm not. I am not gothic at all.
No, you're not. Anyway, today's episode,
Yep.
we're going to be focusing and talking about Phoebe's mental health and how she...
Woohoo! Get in for a crazy ride.
a crazy ride. And particularly how you dealt with it in school.
Yep.
First question I want to ask you is, because for you it started off in school, didn't it?
Well, you say that. I actually have always been quite an anxious kid. So I do remember this one holiday, and I think that's where I realised what anxiety was. And we went to Portugal, and I was obsessed with Madeleine McCann. So I was already nervous, and my mum wasn't very well on the holiday, and my dad wasn't there. It was with my auntie Nick, and my dad was kind of like my big like safety blanket.
Protector.
Because like because I was always scared of chavs.
Oh God.
And like being kidnapped. But I was so like, if anyone came over to me and tried to do anything, I knew my mum couldn't save me because she was tiny, for one. And for two, she was poorly.
Yeah.
So like I clung on to like my auntie that holiday. Feeling was just like heart racing and sick to my core. Like everything made me anxious. But I don't know if it's because I was obsessed with Madeleine McCann and she got kidnapped there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I think I still remember them feelings I had from that holiday. And then it was about year 9. I don't actually know what happened. There wasn't
like an event that kicked it off.
No, there wasn't a trauma that then made me like anxious. It was more just more and more every day I just started to like feel sick. These 2 lovely ladies, Miss Proctor and Miss Barton, and they saved me. He looked after me basically for a few days, and then it just got progressively worse. And then I started to have panic attacks, which I'd never had before.
At school?
Yeah.
Where at school?
So they had a little office. So I'd be in a classroom and I'd be like, oh my God. Like at first I just kept leaving and going to the toilet.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what was happening. Nothing was happening. It was just my body reacting to anxiety, but I didn't know what it was.
What was your body doing?
It was like, it felt disassociated with the world.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. And like my legs were numb, my hands used to tingle, my heart raced, my chest felt tight, all the normal anxiety symptoms. And then after about 2 weeks, I came out of class because it was too much. Like I wasn't living. Like, it was just like so bizarre.
So you were still going into school at this point?
Yeah, and I remember I used to go in, so school would start at 8:30, I'd get there at 8:15. They had a little office, and outside of it was where my area was. And I'd put my head down on that desk, and I wouldn't lift it up again until 2:50 when the school day ended. And then I used to leave.
Yeah.
No communication. No, like it happened really quickly. Like, I just got into like a really dark place really quickly. And did I have anxiety? I then like discovered depression. Because my life was nothing at that point. Like, I was just hollow, like numb to everything. Everything was so heightened, and everything was so like, I can't even explain it.
You just wanted to sit there and do nothing. Did you?
Well, I didn't feel safe there.
Yeah.
At all. Even talking about it now, the way it makes me feel is like lightheaded. So do you know when you feel disassociated with the conversation?
Yeah.
That's how I feel, like talking about it now.
Yeah.
Because it was just like a trauma. Like, I don't feel as bad as I did then. Like, it's still okay to feel like that now.
It brings it back to you.
It brings it back. So I tried I used to make colouring in. Miss Proctor, bless her, she used to make me a hot chocolate every day because she knew that it's still my favourite actually. But I created a really special bond with them two ladies very fast.
Yeah.
And they treated me like their like daughter. They treated me like I was their family. And they were literally like my school mums that saved my life. They were the most amazing women. And then shortly after that, I actually it was just before Christmas. So just before the Christmas break, I had 2 weeks off.
How were you in the Christmas break?
I was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I had good days and bad days, but overall, I was good.
Because you didn't have to go to school?
Yeah, because I didn't feel unsafe. I was in my home, but I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be at school.
You wanted to be at school?
Yeah.
Even though you didn't like being at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Why do you think that is? Maybe because...
I want to be normal.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the odd one out. I didn't want to be the girl that doesn't go to school, or what's wrong with Phoebe. I remember them few weeks off, I thought, this is fine. I'm allowed a few weeks off. Like, I need a break.
Of course.
So I had the few weeks off, and then I went back to school. And I went back to school really positive, and I was like, right, this is it. I'm back now, and I'm going to be fine.
You're going to do it.
And I lasted a morning in class, and then I just had a breakdown again. But I'd lasted the whole morning. Like, it was a big thing. Everything in my life didn't feel worth living. Like, nothing felt worth it because of the way I felt.
What did you feel?
I felt numb, tingly, like there was nothing in my heart, but like I was so sensitive at the same time, and like so disassociated with life. Like, everything to do with life, then I was disassociated with, and then I just started doing an hour a day at school, but I would literally go in for that hour and leave. Yeah, and I would sit and do nothing. I'd sit and chat to Miss Proctor and Miss Barton.
But you still went in for that hour?
And myself there, standing at the bottom of that school drive.
How did that feel?
That felt like a mountain that I could never, ever climb. But I was so...
Like, you just see the school and you're just like...
I just see it, but I can't get to it. I can't get to it and feel normal.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked in, it was like emotions.
Yeah. And
everything was just like... Everything was scary.
Yeah.
Like, I felt scared.
Not safe. How did, like, your friends or people at school, like, deal with... Like, not deal with it, because obviously it's not their problem. Not problem, but situation.
They were young.
Yeah.
I don't think they understood, which is absolutely... At the time, I found that really hard.
Yeah.
Because I then lost all my friends. But I now look back, and I've spoken to a lot of them now. One girl in particular, she's amazing. And she just said, like, I didn't understand back then. I was a 14-year-old, and my whole life was just going to school. It wasn't... like, they didn't understand the mental health side. They didn't understand
They were confused.
They were confused. They just... And also, when someone's not around you, it's out of sight, out of mind. So...
You're not there, so then they're not thinking, like, oh...
No,
what's Phoebe doing?
And then when you start saying no to plans, because I didn't feel well enough, it's then after the 10th time of them asking you, they're not going to ask you anymore.
Yeah.
So then you're really disassociated with them. Yeah. So then I ended up going to school for an hour, that being so abnormal, I had no friends when I went to school because everyone was just, no one knew me anymore. I was so different, and I just felt very lonely. And like no one understood.
Which when you're at such a young age, that's really hard, because you're going in this already hard thing, absolutely like,
and you're going
terrifying
in it alone.
thing, and you're going in alone. You've not got a friend there to hold your hand to do it with.
Like, I think now if it happened and you were here, it's very different because you're grown up and you're very understanding. But you can't blame people for not understanding.
Of course, yeah.
Because they were so young, and also...
And I resonate
I'm not being
with you
funny.
on
Your life at the age of 14 isn't worrying about a friend that's got mental health problems because you don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's why I hope that schools do more assemblies, more things in the classroom about helping people around you that are struggling. But then from there it just spiraled. It got worse. Mum gave me the option to leave school. She wrote me a letter. She couldn't deal with it anymore. I mean, my poor mum, we'll talk about this in another episode, but she didn't have a life.
How did she deal?
She didn't. She didn't really do anything. She just was there for a daughter. Yeah. Which is draining because I was just
looked after you. She said just now that you'd come back from school and then you put your hoodie on and you'd sit on the sofa and you'd just sleep all day.
Yeah, and then I'd sleep all night too and still be tired.
Yeah, because your emotions are just so mentally draining that you feel you cannot do anything. Your mind is just full.
I remember walking out of school and I'd feel relieved.
Yeah.
Then I'd get home and I'd be like...
I feel like this again.
But what is my life?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't worth living. And I'd never do anything, ever. I've never been suicidal like that. But I did used to think, like, what is the point?
I couldn't even cry.
I did, though, and it's fine because I came out of it and I'm
so
fine
proud
now.
of you, yeah. Now you're...
I think it was worse because I was so young.
Yeah.
Not worse,
and because when you were going through the hardest times of your life, probably, you were... Because you were so young, it's also so confusing and hard to understand in yourself because you're just a child.
Yeah, and also no one else... I didn't know anyone else that was going through this. That.
Yeah, so you were isolated and lonely, not only at school, but with how you feel.
Yeah, and I also didn't understand what anxiety was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about it either.
Yeah.
Like, and also I didn't want to talk about it to my mum because it was hurting her.
Did you feel guilty?
Yeah.
That you felt like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty that I was doing it to her as well, but I couldn't help it.
But she wouldn't have cared.
No, of course she didn't.
Yeah. Oh, if you need a minute, you want a tissue?
I'm just going to go get a tissue.
You wouldn't be who you are now, and like
no, definitely
how
not.
you help people and how you are so friendly and how you are so witty. Witty wellness.
Yeah, witty wellness.
Without all these experiences, which only people say all the time, but it is true.
Definitely. So my mum wrote me this letter
to
leave school, and I didn't want to leave because I was so determined that I was going to one day be... I knew, like, as much as like I knew my life was so at rock bottom, I knew that there was light at the end of the tunnel.
That's so amazing.
Like, I just knew. I remember thinking to myself, I'm not going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
I won't let myself be like this forever. But right now it feels too hard to get out of.
So you had that hope.
So I had hope. I always had hope. And then it got so bad that they brought out a software. I think it was called Ed Class. And I worked from home. I mean, I didn't do any work at home. But it made me feel better that I was...
Still doing something.
Yeah.
Even though you weren't there. Because you said that you said to me a minute ago, you didn't want to leave school even though you had the chance, your mum writing a letter, because you wanted to still feel normal or like involved, that you were a normal child.
And also, it shows strength. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but
of course,
I could have so easily turned around and just been like...
Fuck this.
Sod this, I'm leaving.
But you carried on.
But I was so determined. I might not have achieved what I wanted to achieve, but I followed through till year 11. I just used to punish myself all the time, but there was this one time, and I remember it was December time, so it was just before I went on that 2 weeks off. When I had that 2 weeks off, they like let me have the 2 weeks off. This was like what broke it for the school. They were like, she needs to like be safe.
Yeah.
And I was sat there and it was lunchtime and there was loads of kids coming in. And the feelings were just like, every time that door opened, I was like, who's going to come and ask me questions?
Yeah.
Who's going to come and ask me what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Who's going to come and say something not very nice when I'm in this, because I was so vulnerable. I felt so vulnerable. And I was like, I can't explain. It was like a psycho mode. Like, that's the only way to explain it. I just thought, sod this. And I stood up, like, jelly-legged, because I was, like, so anxious, and ran to reception. But I ran the outside way so no one saw me through the lunchtime bit.
Yeah.
Pressed the green button to let myself out. The receptionists were busy, and I ran out.
Ran out of school.
And I ran out of school.
Yeah.
And
where did you go?
I mean, I'm not being funny, they got into a lot of trouble. This is the funny thing. It was my...
The funny thing.
Yeah, it was my cousin's birthday. She was 21. And she was at sixth form. And she only came in for certain lessons.
Yeah.
As I ran down this drive of the school, there was one car coming up.
Was it hers?
And it was her.
Crazy.
And, like, in, like, the least, like, dark way possible, I don't know where I would have gone or what would have happened. I know that I wouldn't have hurt myself. But, like, I don't know where, like, I don't know what situation I would have ended up in. And she literally shoved me in her car. And then I remember I had to go, it was her 21st birthday. I was like, I've ruined your 21st birthday. But I believe that was like my mum or Pam looking down on us.
Yeah.
Because she knew that, like, someone needed to be there.
You needed help.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you were out of school. School tried to support you as much as they could, but was there any other help you received or reached out to?
So, I had to go to CAMHS.
Yeah.
And I had to go to CAMHS because...
You had to. It wasn't an option. You had to.
Yes, because of my attendance.
Oh, okay.
So my attendance wasn't authorised if I didn't go to CAMHS, because obviously I was going for an hour a day.
Yeah.
And to tell you what, that thing ruined me even more.
Yeah.
Like, that made me 10 times worse.
I've heard lots of things about CAMHS.
And don't get me wrong, I've heard lots of good stories about CAMHS,
Okay.
and I think they're a great, great charity. But you need to understand that not every person is right for an individual, and talking isn't always going to work. And why do I have to come to you that's going to make me worse to get my attendance? There's something wrong in this world.
That's
There's
not
something
right.
wrong with, what's the people that come round that tell the school off? Ofsted. There's something wrong with Ofsted that are getting such, their knickers in a twist
Ofsted?
about... Ofsted, sort your shit out.
Sort it out now. That's come for you. Got some strong muscles here.
Ofsted are just ridiculous because they put so much pressure on the school with attendance.
Yeah.
And that knocks the school down. So I had to go, which is just flipping ridiculous. As soon as I saw this lady, I remember I went in and my dad had just had a hip replacement. And I was just so concerned as to what everyone would think. And I didn't want my dad to be there. I'm sorry, Craig, but I didn't, because
that's just your anxiety, overthinking and making
I just
you
told
scared.
my mum everything. I didn't tell my dad everything.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really want my dad to know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just didn't want him to. And that's just how I felt.
Yeah.
And
I get
also,
that.
from his point, he didn't know what to say to me.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, as much as he can say, you'll be okay, you'll be fine, it's not... It doesn't work.
My dad was very similar. I'd never tell him anything.
No.
Yeah.
But I just had that mother-daughter relationship, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love my dad, it's just
Of
that
course.
you're like...
You got
you share
different
things.
dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because you're a girl and she's a girl, it's like, you know.
Yeah, and anyway, oh my God, my mum was like, Dad's coming. And I was like, no, he is not coming. Like, he can't.
Yeah.
Like, this is sending me through the walls. I remember driving there and the feeling. Oh my God, I still remember the feeling. It was literally like, I just wanted to open the car door and leave.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to jump out the car door. That's another thing. So they thought I had OCD because...
Intrusive thought.
I used to have to keep myself safe and other people around me. And my brother got into a car crash once. And the only way I used to get up when he used to wake up, no one actually knows this of my mum, but he used to wake up at 6 o'clock for work every day. And I would set an alarm to wake up at the same time as him. And because I was so scared of him getting in a car crash, I used to tap my head 8 lots of 5. And then I'd go back to sleep because I know that would protect him from getting in a car crash. I mean, am I insane?
Really?
Yeah. So, and then also I once on the way back from town just opened the car door and closed it on the A52, 70 miles per hour.
Intrusive thoughts.
Because I had to do it, otherwise something bad was going to happen to us.
Is that your anxiety just taking over then?
It was like an anxiety OCD thing.
Yeah.
I was like, if I don't do that, sometimes I tap my head still. Get to CAMHS, and my dad's come in. Bear in mind, I didn't want him to be there anyway, and he's on crutches. So I'm already thinking, oh, we look like a chaff family, and my dad's been in a fight. Really, he was just a 40-year-old with a hip replacement. But anyway.
Bless him.
I know. And then she was like, can the Clark family come in? And I was like, no. Like, we're not all coming in to talk about my feelings.
No.
Like, mate, I can't remember her name.
This is about me and me only.
Yeah, like, my dad doesn't need to hear this.
You don't hear him walking along with...
Yeah, and he was walking so slowly as well because he was on crutches, like swinging. I was like, can I just come in by myself before we went in? And she was like, no, we need everyone in for the first bit and then I'll let them leave. And then
the car park.
We went in, she was asking me all these questions and I was like, mate, I'm not going to talk to you in front of these. I'm not going to talk to you in front of my mum and dad.
In front of these, like there a few couple strangers.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to you in front of this guy with crutches on. Like, are you crazy? Anyway, we got through it. And it was just so strange. Like, it just felt like it wasn't my life. I was like, what's, like, I'm 15 years old. Well,
Disassociated again.
I was like, yeah. And I remember the drive home, it was just silent and, like, just...
What was your feeling? Did you feel like a shell of a person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like there was no soul in me.
Yeah.
And by that point, I just felt a bit numb.
Because you've tried something that you thought would help you. It's not.
Yeah.
And almost just makes you feel even worse. Because then you're, again, like...
Yeah.
What's the point?
Literally, what's the point? That's how I just used to always think, like, Mum just said that I sent her a message when I was at school in the toilet saying I'd rather be dead than alive right now. Like, to hear that from your daughter is just a bit sickening.
Yeah.
Like, you don't ever want to hear that.
No.
And now I feel guilty for saying that. But I was obviously in a really bad place. And also, that's a cry out for help.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That means I wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
It means that, like, I was just trying to get help.
Yeah. It's better saying that than keeping it to yourself, even though it's
if I was keeping it to myself, it would be worrying.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Even more worrying.
Yeah.
And then I always remember the zebra crossing when you come out of CAMHS, like 5 minutes through the journey. And as soon as we passed that zebra crossing, like drove through it, I can't explain the feeling. It was like a relief. Like,
that you'd left.
Oh, that's done for another week. I don't have
so
to
you had to go back every week?
Every single week.
You had to?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
And
you didn't enjoy
honestly,
it, but you had to go.
My poor mum, we used to go in and sit in silence for an hour. And this lady would talk to me. So then she tried loads of different methods. Stupid methods, actually. Sorry, but it was. But they just weren't working for me. She could tell they weren't working for me. I needed someone else. And she was like, hold this crystal. And I went into Miss Proctor the next day and I said, she's making me hold crystals and making me think about my feelings. Please help.
Yeah.
So yeah, CAMHS did not help. And I remember I just used to get progressively worse after that. So then I'd be fine. Like the next week I'd be fine. But then CAMHS was on a Wednesday. So from Wednesday to Friday I'd be bad.
Yeah.
Monday I'd be fine again. Tuesday I wouldn't.
You know it's done.
I know it's done and I'd be relieved and that isn't how it should have been.
No.
I tried all sorts of talking therapy. I always knew that you pushing me, anyone, my mum, my dad, my auntie, my nan, anyone pushing me isn't going to help me because...
People always used to say that to me, go to therapy.
Because if you want to get better, it has to come from you.
Has to.
No one else.
Yeah.
So many people can say to you, come on, you want to get better. If you don't want to, and at one point I didn't, I was just like, I'm fine like this.
Yeah.
I was definitely, looked like a ghost because I would do everything to punish myself. I, would struggle with eating because I'd think I'd really want a McDonald's. Mum would be like, let's get some food in her. Let's get some fatty food because she's like a stick. And I was like, I'd really want a McDonald's, but I'd be like, no.
Do you think you didn't deserve that?
Yeah, I used to punish myself.
Because you wanted to feel not well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to a point that I wanted to make myself worse because I could have so easily put some fake tan on.
But not so easily if you were so...
Yeah, but I didn't want to because I thought, you deserve to look ugly and pale and ill. And I used to, I'd get halfway through doing my makeup and then just scrub it off. Because I'd be like, no, because you're making yourself feel better. I felt in such a bad way that's how I dealt with it. I just punished myself. I wanted to make myself feel like that.
Because you thought you deserved to feel like that.
I didn't deserve to feel better.
But you didn't deserve to feel like that.
No, of course I didn't. Yeah. But in my head at that time, you're not in a...
You're not in a sane
you're
mentality.
not... I'm not... you don't think the same as normal. Yeah. It was strange. It was a strange...
Because it's an illness. It's not you. Yeah. It's the illness.
Yeah. But... And then, basically, what happened was... So, this just carried on for like a year or so. And I was just like at home and stuff. And like,
so till you were 16?
Yeah. And then
Lockdown.
we got to lockdown. And lockdown, I hate to say it.
How was that for you?
The best time ever.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was in my position.
You couldn't go to school.
No one could go to school. And I thought...
No one could go anywhere.
This is now normal.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing what everyone else is doing now.
At home?
At home. Everyone else is doing the same thing as me. Like, I feel normal.
Yeah.
And then it came out that the year 11s that year weren't taking their GCSEs, and that was me.
Yeah.
And I have never felt so relieved in my life.
Yeah.
Because I thought, even if I don't get any GCSEs now, I didn't take them. Because I was so scared of failure. I didn't do anything that would put me in a position
where you could fail.
Where I could fail. Whereas I don't do that now. If I'm going to fail, well, I still do a little bit. Like, I even went on a nail course the other day, and the lady was like, you just say you can't do it without even, like, trying first. And I've always been like that. Always. But I think I'm just scared of letting myself down, letting other people down. But it shouldn't be like that.
No, because that's how you grow, isn't it?
Yeah, and then obviously it was like GCSEs, everyone was out of school, so I felt normal, finally.
No pressure.
I finally felt normal.
Yeah.
I didn't have any pressure. Everyone around me was doing the exact same thing as me, and I started to feel a bit more normal. Like, I was like coming back to like a normal human thinking space. And then obviously my GCSEs didn't get any because they had no work to go on. I didn't do any work, so...
How did you feel that you didn't have any GCSEs? Did you care?
Yeah.
You did care?
I cared for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Probably up until this year.
Is that because you felt like you failed?
Yeah.
But you didn't really fail, though.
No, I don't feel like that now.
No,
but probably up until a year ago, if anyone... I remember, like, if we ever got in conversation, I'd be like, oh, I just got C's. I'd just lie.
Yeah.
There's no need to lie. I don't have any GCSEs. It's like not... It doesn't define me, and it doesn't...
No.
It's not going to stop me doing things. I just got a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't take it, but I got a job doing what I really wanted to do in a school, helping others in the same situation that I was in. And I didn't have any GCSEs for that, but I had life experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes that's better than a piece of paper. Like, I've never been academic anyway. I just felt relieved, and it's just a bit of a personality trait.
Exactly. Got to make the most of it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to make it a bit funny, haven't you?
You always have to do that.
Can you imagine just like seeing like a young girl just running down the school drive, like crying hysterically with jelly legs, and my cousin just seeing me like, oh my God, are you okay, Phoebe? Are you just trying to traumatise everyone in your family?
So in lockdown,
yeah,
you obviously felt a lot better because that pressure was gone to go, and no one else was going as well. When like we were allowed to do more things in lockdown, did you do anything?
So I've always been friends with this one girl, and she invited me to a birthday party.
Was it?
And I knew a few of them, and then I made friends through that party.
Okay.
And then
was that rekindled friendships from school or new people?
Some people.
Yeah.
Some people. But like people from school, it was just like hilarious. Like there was like a few people that I'd message to say, I'm gonna be coming back to school. Can I like be with your group of friends? Like just trying to have people that are there for me, and they'd be like, oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, not very nice. Because you're going in and going through all this, feel extremely lonely.
And then someone says, yeah, I don't know if you can be part of our group. It's like, okay.
School can get fucked, honestly.
School is so wild.
But I remember in lockdown, when restrictions were lifted a bit, this is when I started to know you. And that's how we first knew each other, in lockdown, because that was in lockdown.
Yeah.
And we all started going out a bit in the woods, like you do when you're 16 years old in lockdown. Did you go to the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all went on that park.
We used to always drink.
Yeah, we were drinking and...
Yeah, that's when I gained my life back. Yeah. Never thought I'd ever get a boyfriend, because I always thought, like...
Yeah.
I'm too, like, anxious for that. And also, how the hell are they going to deal with me?
I wanted to ask you that, actually. How you deal with your, like, mental health, or if you ever feel extremely anxious within a relationship, and how... if any like exes, how they've dealt with it, what they've done that's not helped or have helped.
Yeah,
now, because I know you're in a relationship now.
Yeah, it is a big thing.
Yeah, of course.
And up until this relationship that I'm in now, it's probably like Harry now is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, but he understands me.
Yeah.
There has been a few people previously that obviously I don't expect them to understand everything.
Yeah.
No.
Of course.
But some of your actions make my anxiety worse.
Yeah.
And like,
sorry,
you could just understand that for a sec.
Just
be a bit more sensitive.
Just be kind.
Harry's amazing, and Harry is always there for me. Like, even last night he was like, what can I do? And I was like, I need my mum.
Yeah.
So he can't always like...
Even if he doesn't understand, he tries to understand.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's a big difference between like saying you understand and actually understand. Like, trying to actually understand.
Like, listening, caring, doing things
and
for
he
you.
always says, like, talk to me. And I'm like, yeah, hold on a sec, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. At least it gives him the option, though. He's opening himself up to you.
Sometimes he's just like, well, just cry then. Like,
yeah.
You're allowed to cry.
Yeah, like, I know that whenever... So my past relationships, obviously none of them worked out. But I'd always feel so guilty for being upset. Or I'd always be made to feel that my situation is not severe enough for me to be upset about. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not valid.
Yeah.
I'd always be made to feel like my feelings are not valid. But there's Harry, obviously, he helps you.
He is.
He validates feelings.
I do sometimes, though, feel like a guilt feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think, oh, wow, you don't want to be with someone that's sad and anxious all the time. But if I think about it, it's not all the time. I mean, it's a lot of the time, but it's not all the time. It doesn't consume my life. Like, I'm very happy a lot of the time now. I don't get anxious as often anymore. Like, I still do get anxious, and when I am anxious, I am actually not too bad because he looks after me properly.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone just goes, oh, what's wrong? Like, you'll be right. That isn't doing anything. That's making me worse.
Yeah. But also, it's not normal to be happy as fucking Larry every single day, is it?
Well, like, if you are happy as Larry every day, I'd love to know.
Let me know how. Because I always say, and I've always said this to you whenever you're having a bad day, it might be annoying by now, I don't know, but you need to have a sad day to know what a happy day feels like. Because how are you going to know? How are you going to know what a happy day feels like if you don't have a sad day?
That is my favourite thing you ever say to me, and I will never get sick of it. Like, whenever I feel like crap, Heidi will always say that, and it's so true. If you do not have a sad day, how are you going to know what a happy one is?
How are you going to know the comparison? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but you need to have the shit days sometimes to appreciate the happy days.
I do think I've got, like, PTSD from school, though, because so, like, a few weeks ago, I felt really anxious and down. And it's like I get a PTSD, like a trauma response. And I think, oh my God, I'm going to end up in my bedroom in the dark and I'm not going to eat and I'm going to be really pale and I'm going to be really sad and I'm going to be really anxious and I'm not going to have any family around me.
Yeah.
I want any family around me, sorry. I don't want any friends around me. I'll lose all my friends. I'll lose Harry. I'll lose Harry's family. I'll lose my family. I'll lose everything. Instead of just thinking, oh, one sec, I'm just having a bad minute or a bad day or a bad week. No, I'm thinking, this is it.
This is my life.
So then I get to the extremes. So, like, I go from one extreme to the other. And I don't know if this, because I'm on antidepressants, and I have been since school.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether, because obviously that numbs you a bit. I mean, not numbed me enough, Jesus Christ. As we can see.
No, keep them going, please.
Yeah. But I'm either really happy or really sad.
Yeah.
I'm never plain state. I'm never just like on a middle.
But what now?
When I'm happy.
Yeah. You're happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm either like this or I'm just at rock bottom.
Yeah.
But like I do get myself out of it very quickly now.
Yeah, you do.
Like when I'm about to have a panic attack, I don't have one anymore. Like I stop myself. Like last night I stopped myself. I could have easily. Maybe if I wasn't at home, it would have happened. But being at home is my safe place. And I think it's important for you guys to find, like for people to find their safe place.
Yeah.
Mine's my home. Where's yours? Where's your safe place? Yours would probably be home.
Well, yeah, I get...
When you're feeling crap,
my bedroom.
Yeah, your bedroom.
Not my home, my bedroom.
No, but mine used to be my bedroom.
Yeah.
Mine is my bedroom, really.
Because my home's been through a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Like my home bedroom, maybe my uni bedroom. Like I would want to be in my bedroom, like on my own.
Yeah.
But I avoid breaking down, otherwise I will spiral. So I just don't do it. Thinking about how you get yourself out of it a lot quickly now. And I was going to say that, obviously you don't need to hear it from me, But I can tell, and I agree with you, because I think it was the beginning of this year, you're having a rough month or something.
Yeah,
And
no, it was the end of last year, beginning of this year, wasn't it?
And there was quite a couple of days where we were messaging, and you were saying that you really don't feel well, and you just found it really, really difficult to get out of. But say, for example, last night you messaged me, oh, I don't feel great.
Yeah.
And then you got out of it, same evening.
Yeah.
Like, that in itself, is growth.
Yeah. But I've only just got to the stage where I now have a therapist.
Yeah, so maybe that is helping.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I trust her every other week.
Oh, okay.
I trust her with my life. I tell her everything, and she, like, nothing phases her. I tell her things, and I'm like, hold your breath for this one, Claire. And I tell her, her name's Claire, and she's just like, all right. Yeah. And I'm just like, that is the reaction I needed.
Yeah.
So Mum tried everything for me to make me okay again. And she bought me a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Literally anything to make her
Was that
happy.
Indy, or your other dog?
That was Indy. So we had Hallie. Hallie was my best friend. Like, I'm not joking. And I think they knew she was going to die soon. And they thought, if this dog dies, this kid is going to be like, there's no saving her. So we've got to get a puppy to keep her distracted. So we did. And that's where we got Indy.
And you do all the tricks with her. Shoot,
oh,
spin.
Yeah. So I obviously had lots of time on my hand when we got Indy. Indy used to come to school with me. She's a therapy dog. Aww. She was great. So, like, she made it more bearable to go to school.
Oh, no, listen to this. You know when I got Ned?
Yeah.
So they told us that Ned's, like, litter, I'm pretty sure it was Ned's litter, is a therapy dog litter. Have you seen?
He is not a therapy dog.
I was licking at the bottom of my shoe for 20 minutes today. That's not therapy.
We got this dog, Indy. We got Indy, and I had lots of time on my hands. So I was like, let's teach her some tricks then. The dog can do everything. She can play dead. I literally go, pew, and she goes,
oh.
She's not as good at this anymore, but honestly, she saved my life. One of the reasons, like,
you need an animal in your life.
Life was worth living, because we used to nap together.
She said she slept with you last night.
Yeah, she did. She still does sometimes. She loves my mum more now, though.
So we had lockdown, and then after that, when this is when you felt better. What did you do after that? Because we've been through school.
Yeah, so after that, I got a job at Morrison's.
You said that but this is when you started to, like, try and do it.
Yeah, so I got this job at Morrison's the first day. I'm sorry, that was the worst company ever at the start, because I would, like, go in and everyone would be like, yeah, you're on bread and cakes. And I'd be like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Like, what am I meant to be doing? There was, like, no one there to show me what to do. And that just gives me anxiety, because I don't want to do anything wrong, as we know. Like, I don't want to do things that's going to make me fail and make me feel embarrassed. That was a big thing at school. I was scared of being embarrassed. Yeah. I used to go bright red all the time. Like, I was so worried about going red that it would then make me go red.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. That's why I hate it. Do you know when, like, people go, oh, have you got a girlfriend, to little kids, and they go red? I hate it, because I just think, I remember how that used to, like, when people used to speak to me or ask me questions, just used to get so red and embarrassed, and I hate it. Yeah. We had a family friend that worked there, and he came in and helped me. Bless him.
When he wasn't even working?
No, he got an extra, like, they let him do an extra shift so he could show me what to do.
Oh, right.
And then, like, there was this, like, a girl there, and she, like, we were out one night, and she was like, oh, yeah, you're the girl that cried and had a massive meltdown because you've got anxiety at Morrison's.
Well, you need to understand and stop being mean.
Yeah, I know. And we need to put that in at the start, though, by the baseball bat man. I got my first hate comment.
She got a hate comment already.
Do you know what it said as well? It said, the one on the right doesn't
seem very nice. Doesn't come across
very nice. Mate, you have a baseball bat as your profile picture. And also offensive.
And also you've got a name. Like, if you listened to it and to actually know what you were like, you would know your name.
We were talking about suicide. Like, are you okay?
And now what do you do?
Now I'm a nail tech. Start my own business, because I don't want to be employed by anyone. No one tell me what to do.
And how great is that?
It's so great. It's very difficult when you're feeling down.
Of course.
But I've got very understanding clients.
You've got yourself out of the darkest place of your life, Phoebe.
Defo.
And you should be proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. You've done it. You've got a full-time job.
I actually, like, I know it's so cringe, but I am actually proud of myself.
Good. You should be proud of yourself.
Like, I got myself out of a very dark place. I did know that one day this would happen.
Yeah.
And I knew that I always wanted to do something like this to help other people. So I do hope if any of it resonates with you, you just feel a bit more seen and heard.
What's one bit of advice you would give to someone who is struggling with mental health at school?
It does get easier, but until you're ready, you won't get better.
Yeah, and don't
if you
be
don't want to
pressured.
be if you don't want to be ready, if you don't want to get better, you won't. It can't come from anyone else but you. You don't feel ready to get, if you don't feel like you're ready to get better or get help, that's fine. But you won't get better until you want to. Because only you can do it. Only you know how you feel 100%. Your mum can be there for you, any family member, a teacher, but only you can do it.
Yeah.
And I did, so take this as your side.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't have...
You don't. I just checked as you did that.
Take it as your sign that things do get better.
They
do. As much as I felt like I was in a really dark place, I'm out of it now. And I cope with everything.
And I was talking to my sister last night, and I was explaining about what we're going to do this episode. I mentioned to her, like, yeah, Phoebe used to go through all of this. And she was like... And my mum's the same.
Yeah.
They were like, what? Yeah. Phoebe? And I was like, yeah, I know. She's amazing, isn't she? You wouldn't expect that from her because you're such an amazing black person.
Just really
and you don't
confident.
put across that...
No.
That was a part of your life. And
yeah.
you wouldn't expect it because you are just so amazing.
Yeah. I have always been the friend that, like, you push in front because I'm, like, the confident one.
Yeah, I would always get Phoebe to talk at the restaurant, talk at the coffee shop.
100%.
Talk at the till.
Yeah, anything like that.
But maybe that's because
I'm so confident in some areas.
It's made you stronger to do
this. So not confident in other areas. Yeah. But I've always been that person and I always will be. It doesn't define me. Anxiety and depression doesn't define me. It's something that I have to live with and I have to work on, and I have done, and I still am working on it, and I will be okay, and I am okay.
Yeah.
But I've always been the confident one. I've always been the loud one, and I always will be forever. Hold my peace. Amen.
Good. Yeah, proud of you.
Love you.
Love you so much.
Hope this has helped, guys. All right. Bye, guys. Bye. See ya.